All right, welcome to the coffee break. This is episode number 86. Also, this is the last of this year. Well, just so you know, right, next time in 2 weeks, we'll be taking a break. That will be on 27, and then we are back on January 10. So welcome to the last coffee break of the year. Thank you very much for joining, and hope you had a great year. And as usual, let me hand over to you if you have any questions or topics that you'd like to bring up. Definitely, I'm pretty sure there is a nice summary from the year for the year. And let's see from you what's interesting going on. We started Thursday. Okay, Jonathan.
Hey, I just wanted to ask with regards to there was a webinar on setting up a Dynamo design automation, and you said that it will be recorded, and whether you have the link for that or where should we look for that in the APS blog?
Yeah, it was recorded. I think we're talking about the Dynamo with the automation for Revit, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so if you go to the feedback portal, feedback.autodesk.com, and you go to downloads, should be there. I uploaded right after. You should get a notification, I think, if you have that enabled for you. So whenever we add something new on that project, you get notifications. So if you go to the download section, the videos should be there. So for others, right? So we are running a call for feedback on how to run Dynamo with design automation for Revit. Dennis, he's not here yet, but he's working on that. And I think last week we ran a quick webinar showing how it works, how you can set it up, and the recording is available. But if you want to be part of that call for feedback on the blog, there is also an invite to join it. Let me get the blog here. And where is it? Dynamo.
It's there. I can see it.
I'll find it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I was trying to find the blog post showing that as well. So if I can get there. Yeah, here. So let me share this. I want to show you about the webinar. Okay. So if you search for a call for feedback on the automation for Revit with Dynamo, and then there is a call for feedback that brings you to the feedback portal, where you can join the program, access the files, and play with that. Yeah, good point, Michael. So there is another webinar happening right now, which is the admin API that for ACC, long-awaited API that is now available. Of course, they will be recorded. It will be recorded, and soon will be available on the APS website. Yeah, that's interesting. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, Mikhail is presenting there. So, Jonathan, anything interesting that you're doing with Dynamo? Bringing you today.
Actually, yeah, lately I haven't been doing any work with Dynamo. It's just it's mainly Revit API, or maybe some things with the Revit APIs as DLLs, and then Python driving that differently, slightly different on every project. But I know there's a lot of people that Dynamo is a very good entry point for them in terms of automation. Dynamo for Revit is, it's relatively easier for people who without software background, programming background. So it's a way of maybe combining a couple of things. And of course, running on the cloud, it's interesting.
Cool. Yeah. So well, this is still a call for feedback, and there's still a long way to go, right? And if you can share some of that on the feedback portal. I'm pretty sure that the product managers and the team that is working on that to be very much interested in learning more on your workflow, right? So we want to make sure that just like any call for feedback or beta, we want to make sure that what you're building is what you're looking for. So that's why your feedback is really important. Cool. All right. What else? So I did mention that this is the last coffee break of the year. Also, that the support that you have from APS, meaning our team that can help you. The team will be off most of the holiday. So if you have any questions that you want us to help, you can still submit those questions. But during the week between Christmas and New Year, most of the team will be off. So yeah, anything that is not urgent will go after. If you have anything urgent, always contact us, right? If you have any question that you need help now, there's a chance to get answers before. And yeah, so let me just switch topics for a moment. I know that Michael is here and he's also leaving shortly, but interesting news is that we are moving the Tandem API into was released during AU. There is now more information, blog posts, and details there. And Michael was still is our main expert. So just to bring this up, if you're working with or planning to work with the product, there is a very powerful API, and the product is also very powerful. And what else can we do here, Michael?
Yeah, so if you're working with owner, facility, or IoT sensor digital twins, then Tandem product as well as the Tandem API is worth checking out. It uses the LMV viewer under the hood with some modifications to access the Tandem database, but all of the things that you're familiar with the viewer should translate across to the Tandem APIs. Things that are a little bit different are, instead of using a data management API to access files and folders, you use the Tandem API for accessing facilities and the models within the facilities. There's a whole lot more information you can check out on the API docs there as well. There's a rather large Postman collection, which will help with accessing the facilities information. And if you're working with assets, for example, or you've got, say, you're working with Datum 360 or Pi for IoT sensor data, there's some side projects going on with integration into those things. So yeah, lots of digital twin stuff. I could probably also mention that there's we're also hoping to do a webinar in the early new year as well. And that's it. Oh, can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Loud and clear. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, we are talking too much. Let me again open up for you, questions, topics, anything that's interesting going on.
Yeah, we have a question. We've recently Hi, how's everybody? So I've got Kevin here and Marcel. We're all on the same team. We've been experiencing some issues uploading files to Bin360 and ACC projects where certain file types are getting corrupted, and the files are fine, before they're uploaded, but once they get there, if we download the source file, they get corrupted. And we noticed that when we use when we don't use the package that was provided, it's okay. But when we use the package from Kevin, can you tell me what the name of it was? The NuGet package?
Yeah, he's referring to we are using the Forge NuGet package that was released, not the newer SDK or version. So the older Forge NuGet package to communicate with the Autodesk APIs. I believe we're on like 1.9 version. We could double check.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we're mainly curious if there was any known issues in uploads in that NuGet package. We're just trying to pinpoint something we've noticed on the uploads. Yeah.
So there was a support ticket that came from a different company a few weeks ago, and they were having similar problems. They were using I think it was a Google file picker control to help them with picking files from the browser locally to help them to upload to storage service. It turned out that file picker, based on file type, even extension, certain extensions were getting corrupted. It would add additional information to the file, and then once it's in the storage, the services couldn't access it properly. And then even downloading it, it was corrupted again. So you might look at things like that if you're using, other file picker type tools, or, something to upload that's non-standard. Maybe that could give you a clue.
Okay, that sounds very similar. And we were kind of leaning towards something going on when we convert it to bytes. There's also a MIME attribute or content type you can add, and we were sort of digging down that path. That sounds very familiar. So, I mean, I think it's some things we'll have to look into for sure.
Yeah, it was only
in that
certain
area.
file types
Yeah.
too. Like it was a docx, Excel file formats, NWC,
Yeah.
but DWG is fine. So
And Revit's fine. Yeah, it was kind of an interesting
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
In this situation, it actually was happening to some Revit files, and there were some other file types. I don't remember. They were non-Autodesk file types. So, but yeah, it sounds very familiar. So I maybe just comb through your code if you're using some kind of file picker control or something. Maybe switch to something else for temporarily to see if that solves it.
Okay.
And I don't know if anyone else here from Autodesk has any ideas. I'm not that familiar with the NuGet packet you mentioned. So
Yeah, but I think the part that is surprising is to have it working for a few and not and failing for others, right? So it's, well, if it's just a file type, then it's something that is being added somehow, right? Because the bytes are uploaded the same way. The package doesn't know about the file type, right? It just upload the bytes in a reasonable way. That's all it does.
Okay.
And you said you tried those files with a different uploader. Did you try to upload them manually as well? Do they still
yeah,
work?
so if we upload them directly through the website, they upload fine. So it's definitely something in our application, I believe. But when we also have another tool that is a command line application where we didn't use that package. We wrote our own set of tools around that, and it doesn't have that problem. So we were just curious if there was something that we should look into, and it sounds like we have a little bit more of a direction. Do we have any other questions on that?
I think it kind of supports what we were already looking into. So thanks, Kevin, and for that input. I think that might help. There's a couple things we got to look into on that, I think, and we'll reach out, I guess, maybe a separate if we notice anything or can't seem to pinpoint it, but we'll let y'all know. But yeah, I think this is helpful enough.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Cool. Yeah. So but I say that all the time, so I'll always repeat that, right? Always that you have something that is way too specific. Like in this case, right? You want to look at your code. We have a support, right? So go to the APS and go to support, get help. So here you can post your question on Stack Overflow, right? We have some tags, just add those tags, we can help. You can send us a message direct and private, right? So you can start a ticket with our system that we are going to reply to you. That's another way. But sometimes you really need someone to work with you to look at your implementation, right? And because you have a lot, I don't know, maybe have a huge setup that is very hard to send. You can book a time with our team. So just come here, select technical support. That should open Calendly. And based on where you are, you can see the time zones. Just find the best person on your time zone, see the availability, and get like 30 minutes and take a look. That could work as well. So we are all available here.
Who would you recommend for this particular specific example we just gave?
Well, this is very front UI related, right? So and you are US, right? Pacific or East?
East Coast.
East Coast, yeah. Jaime is there. Jaime Rosales. You can try John as well. He's also same time zone. They are there. But I would say John or Jaime would be good points. Peter Bros is also available. He's in Europe, so but you have some overlap. Those three names are a good place to start. Kevin as well, but Kevin's more on the M&E side. But
thank you.
Unless you want to raise your hand, Kevin, so I'll bring you in.
Yeah, I honestly I'm not sure of what they ended up finding as an exact detail, but we went back and forth a few times, and we told them to look for UI elements for uploading things, and that triggered their finding the problem. So what they ended up doing was just switching out their file picker. That was the quickest solution. So
cool. Yeah. All right, so Calendly is available here. Yeah, just book a time as well. Should work.
Thank you.
And what are you working with? Can you share anything interesting? What kind of project you have?
Our project?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So Navigate Cloud Manager is a tool that allows you to upload and download files between BIM 360 and ACC in a network location. Okay. But it also allows you to create ACC projects and manage users on BIM 360 and ACC. We actually are using the private beta API that webinar is on right now for the full release publicly. So we were on the private beta. And that private beta allowed us to create ACC projects, and we do that in Excel workflow. So you can create a bunch of projects in bulk, and then also manage users. So you can add multiple users to multiple projects at the same time. So really powerful tool if you are just getting into ACC, migrating, adopting ACC, implementing it for the first time, getting all your projects kind of migrated from a network drive onto ACC, and then adding all your users to your projects. Or if you're migrating from like another platform like Procore, if you get that data on a network drive, get it up onto ACC with Cloud Manager, and then create all your projects, get all your users. The ACC admin API is very good and very powerful. And we've leveraged that to really make you more efficient when you're managing multiple projects and modifying users I would say the really exciting thing for us was being able to control the product access on the users modules of ACC. The API allowed you to do that. We did not have that capability in the APIs for BIM 360. So that was a big deal, being able to add users to projects, set their company and role, but also specify their like which modules of ACC, like build, design collaboration, and being able to do that in bulk for multiple users on multiple projects. So huge efficiencies once we started leveraging those ACC admin APIs.
Interesting. You said that you also move files, right, from one to the other. Any words about the data management API?
Yeah, I mean, we use the data management API for moving files. There's another project that we're also working on called Navigate Nebula, where we're doing cloud-to-cloud transfers. So primarily focusing on migrating data from BIM 360 projects to ACC projects. So like handoff when maybe a designer is handing off their project to the construction, or construction's handing off to the owner. So migrating those files between.
Did it work well to grab the files, also to find the files, to find the folders, and find the information you're looking for in ACC? Was that easy, hard? How would you see that?
Yeah, I think that it was pretty straightforward. I mean, I should let the developers speak more. I'm a product manager, so I mean, Marcel, Kevin, do you want to?
Yeah, I mean, we use data management API quite a bit. Finding hubs, projects, folders. The JSON structure was pretty common, standard, so we just kind of, created models for those to serialize those. Yeah, I think there were probably some tweaks we had to do, Marcel. I think we had to figuring out which type of file. I think we had to add some extra logic, and getting if it was A360, BIM 360, or ACC, making sure we're checking all that, but that's pretty standard checks that we had to do. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty easy, straightforward to use, and the documentation was great. Yeah.
All right, interesting.
So I saw a question from Michael about if we use role system for permissions. So we are on BIM 360. We were trying to utilize the role to have the product access, or what they called them. Man, what was it called? It's products and ACCs. It was something else in BIM 360. I forget. But when we would assign a user a role on the project, they wouldn't get access to the modules. We never figured that out. Is there something there that we never figured out? Maybe.
I'm sorry, that was for role permissions?
Yeah. You asked the question.
Yeah. Yeah, so when setting up users, or better still, when you set up projects from a template, you can assign roles rather than specific users. And that way, if your project members change over time, the role may stay the same. And it sort of reassigns the correct permissions to the folders and modules. So if you have a BIM manager, well, hopefully it's not a BIM manager, but yeah, you assign a BIM manager and that role changes. Somebody goes on leave, somebody takes over the role, then all the permissions remain the same. It's not like you have to reassign them.
Yeah. Yes.
We do that with we set the roles on the hub, and then we set a template with roles assigned to different folders. And then when you create a new project, you just have to, you pick from the users you already have. This one's the structural engineer. you assign them the role most of the time on the project. Most of the time they'll have that role anyway, because if we use the same structural engineers or several of them on specific projects, then it's almost no-brainer in terms of the amount of work you need to do when you set up a project. If your template is set up right, it comes down to very, very little. I am curious about the API now, the one that you were using in private beta. Maybe it helps to kind of refine what we've done.
Yeah, so we never used templates in our application, but when we did the member assignment, we always allowed the users to be assigned company and role when they were added to the project, with the goal being that you would already done the folder permissions by company or role. So when you added the user to the project, if the folder permissions were set up with company or role, they would have the company or role, and then they would get the access to the folders or files, or the folders based on that. So yeah, like that, we definitely were relying on that, but we never found a way to get the services. Like based on BIM 360, when you added users to a project, their default role would bring them in with the services correctly if you did it through the website. When we did it through the API, there just wasn't that same process happening for us. So we were never able to automatically give like an engineer the design collaboration service. So the folder permissions did work if they were already set up.
Yeah, it's
And then, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So,
In the private beta, the template system had a way to add a couple of modules, but it was also it wasn't released. It's now released, so through the template mechanism you can. In fact, it's working now with just general users, as you're discovering. You can assign new services. I had a follow-up question, two more follow-up questions. Is your user base originating from something like Workday or Microsoft Active Directory?
we do get requests to integrate with Windows, the Active Directory. So, I mean, that is relevant, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, that was something else we're noticing is where the project and user information originates from. Could certainly make that a lot easier, and maybe provide some more focused tutorials on connecting these external systems. So yeah, and the other one was Workday, where a project it's created in Workday originally, the address information gets propagated across, those sort of things. I don't know if there's a way we can add a voting system, but
yeah, there's another platform we get requested a lot, which is Deltek. That's another one that
Deltek. Okay.
Go ahead, Augusta.
Yeah, I was just saying that just because of time, I don't want to run way too over and burn that conversation. So I just think one question for me, it's about 2Ds and detail, but I think what you're missing is the object tree, which is not available, right? So maybe have to explore a bit more on your case. So what I would suggest to Miguel is to send a message to aps.help@autodesk.com, so we can provide you some samples on how to do it, on how to get the elements on a 2D drawing. It's also possible they have the BID. It's just that the object tree is not there, right? So I think that is the problem you're facing there. So aps.help@autodesk.com, so we can follow up with you. And with that, again, sorry, I don't want to run too much over. I know that we all have lots of things. So maybe we can get some time, Brandon, if you want to discuss a bit more. I'm very interested on the data management side, so maybe we can follow up later and have some insights from you. And
be happy to talk more.
Come back here. Oops. Yeah. Am I sharing the right screen? Yes. Okay. So as usual. Yeah, please. I think I have your email. I probably have your email on the list of contact later. And with that, the next coffee break, as I said, we're going to skip the next one, and we're back on January 10th. All of you enjoy the holidays, enjoy Christmas, New Year, and our fresh here. You on January 10th, same link, same time. Yeah, see you soon. Thank you very much for joining every time this year, and see you soon.
Thanks. Bye
Awesome.
bye.
Bye.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah, happy holidays. Bye.